Using that and why it should not be taken control of.
I think when we think of, maybe it's just me, but because we don't have an openly idolatrous, we don't have shrines.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But we think of maybe I should say think of it, have always thought of an idol as something I love.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
We think of worship as adoration because we're Christians and we know God. We think of that. But think of all the other cultures in the world. Worship is terrifying. I mean, you are bowing down and sacrificing your children to these deities out of fear. So that you won't die, so that you won't be cursed, right? So that can, so look in your life and what are the things that are driving you that you have to keep serving out of fear? That's worshiping.
Yeah.
It's not just holy,
Right.
Worship is what you devote yourself to and what gets your attention. Because the only thing you need is Jesus.
Well, you could go anywhere with that.
You
If
could.
You need affirmation.
Yeah.
And you cannot be happy without it.
Yeah.
Then there is an issue. That is your idol.
Yeah.
If you need food.
If you need sugar, then sugar's not good for you. Yes, and of course we want to be healthy.
Because health is good.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Be
I
reasonably
think
sensible.
we do have to be healthy with the body God gave us, right? I
Yeah.
believe that. But
To
Good
do what?
steward.
It is stewardship.
Right.
Good
Yes.
stewards of
Yeah.
us,
To
to
serve,
serve Him. So
Right.
if it goes beyond that, if it's like Sherman was saying, if it's like inward and I need this and I need to look like this, if you're doing it for your health so you can have more energy and you're not gonna die tomorrow, if you're just supposed to be healthy, right? But it often and easily goes overboard.
Yeah.
Like goals, next level, next
Yeah.
level, next level. And again, it's tricky. It's one of those things too that's kind of like
And a big key for me was being thankful.
yeah.
Because I felt I wasn't thankful because I was thinking about all the things I didn't have, apart from energy and weight loss, mind clarity, all the things that I wanted. Also, you feel like you're being denied the things you need. The biggest thing for me in so many areas was, that was during the big Ann Voss Camp, 1,000 gifts, right? Just stop and start noticing God's blessings in your life. And blessings is such an abused word, but just learn to look around and be thankful. So I had to learn to be thankful for that hot dog. I'm hungry.
Please
And here's
change
food.
the molecular
Yes.
construction of
Yes.
this meal so that it will nourish my body.
Yes, and then not fear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to be thankful to go for a walk and not feel driven like I have to get my heart rate up, I have to walk for so long, and just a shift in focus. Not that it's bad to walk for so long with your heart rate up, but to actually just go to enjoy the walk, to be thankful for the ability to walk, be thankful for the street to walk on, be thankful for the trees to look at. It just, when you start trying to do that, I think we realize how ungrateful we really are, and how much we miss, how much we take for granted, and how much we expect.
Yeah.
That
That's a big one.
entitlement
Yeah.
is just so much deeper than
That's
we
a
think.
big one. It was for me for a long time. It was entitlement. Why God? Why did they have that and I don't? And what have I done that I shouldn't deserve that? And thankfully, I don't think that way for the most part anymore. Like, it consumed my life for a long time. It was materialistic things, and I don't know why, but it was a struggle for a while. But once you get into the Word and once you're like studying, and you just see like the absolute, I deserve none of anything that I have right now, the entitlement starts to fade pretty quickly, right? So
And just throw yourself into what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Do the
that's,
next
I'm
thing.
telling my kids that all the time. Let's stop talking about what you can't do,
Yes.
and let's be thankful for what we can and get busy doing it.
They've got it so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So confession, when you built your house, that was really hard for me.
Was it?
because I was stuck in that little tiny house on Orchard Street
With a really
all those
a
kids,
family twice as big as mine.
7 kids in one
bedrooms.
bathroom,
Yeah.
and you know, I was, and I
Yeah.
wasn't annoyed with you.
Mm-hmm.
I was annoyed with God.
Yeah.
Why do they need a bigger house and I don't? I didn't want you to not have your
Yeah.
house. I was saying why,
One too.
but I didn't know
Yeah.
that what he had planned for me.
Yeah.
I had to come to the point where it was okay, and I had decided to be thankful for that little tiny house where we were warm and dry, and I was making it work and learning to be hospitable and do all the things.
Yeah.
So I did, by the
Yeah.
grace of God, get to the point where it was okay if we
Yeah.
stayed there for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. I
was
remember
okay.
that moment.
Yeah.
Or the-
Putting the second bathroom in
That was
was a
hopeful.
big help.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
It was so funny while they were building that house, the one we just moved from. They were building it, and we would drive by, and we were in that other one that I wasn't pleased with. It was a wait, and I'd be like, God, why can't we have a place like that? Like, oh, it's gorgeous, it's huge. We would use it for ministry.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be awesome. And it was 4 years later.
Yeah.
A knock on the door. I was just wondering if you would rent this house from us.
Well, you guys had already decided that
Yeah.
you wanted to sell. And
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow,
That was
it's
a
just
pretty
like,
neat thing.
So
but that was
Not
it
to
was
say-
12 years of discontentment
Yes.
and learning
to be
different-
content where you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to say that God is going to make your big dreams come true.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
And that was only for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We enjoyed
The
it very
point
much.
is to learn to be content with what you
Yes.
have and trust Him with
Yes.
whatever He has for the future,
Yes.
even if it means staying where you are
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then when He does give you something really good,
yeah.
thanking Him for it and saying, well, what do you want me to do with it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because He doesn't
Yes.
give us that really good
Yeah.
thing so that now we can
It's
have the life I always
never-
dreamed of.
It's never
Unless
for
you've
us.
dreamed of
Yeah.
serving Him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is from years and years and years and years ago, when one of the first times that I was reading Exodus, when the children of Israel were leaving, and the Egyptians they gave all of their jewels and stuff to them, like, just get out of here. So they left with, like, they were rich basically, but you keep reading, and it wasn't for them
No.
to
No.
wear.
No.
That
it
was
wasn't
for
so they
them.
could look good
To-
in their new
yeah.
land.
Yeah, they didn't use it for them. God was preparing them to build the
the
tabernacle.
Yes.
It's not for you,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
never think that all of these wonderful big blessings that are coming
Yeah.
your way
Mhm.
are because you were doing something great
Yeah.
or good.
Yes.
He's preparing you for the next ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Always.
giving you
So
Because
it's
even
always-
if you're not content anyway, it doesn't matter what your house looks like.
No.
It's true.
Not content. What?
It's
Not now, but I
true.
was
I know.
not. Like
Yeah.
it didn't
Mhm.
matter. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
we got our house. We got to build a
Yeah.
house, and I used to feel guilty that people were like, whoa, what a big house. Built it with my parents. It's
Yes.
2 houses, right?
Yeah.
But I used to feel really guilty about that. Oh, people
Yeah.
think we have all this money, whatever. But it didn't matter. Like I still had lots of discontent times in that
Right.
nice house that I'm
Yeah.
very, very thankful for. But
Yeah.
what I've had to do over the years is just be open to the fact that what is it you want us to do? You know, we live and share with my parents. So at this point, it's stay until otherwise
Yeah.
told to, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it works
Yeah,
the
it's
best for
fixed.
everybody, and that's what's
Yeah.
happening. But doesn't mean that I was automatically content. It doesn't
No.
take that.
That's true. Whatever you
teach
are,
you,
you will
right?
be that
You
wherever
will be
you
that
are.
wherever you are.
And, yeah, so if you're not content and you get the thing you wanted, it's only a matter of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until that's not
Yeah.
good enough.
Exactly.
There's always something else to
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah. And God taught me that pretty quickly.
Even I was thinking what Shannon was saying about Exodus just made me think of, since we're reading 2 Corinthians,
Yeah.
because even when Paul says in there, like, they give,
Mm.
is it in chapter 9, I think they give, so and God
Yes.
can make their abundance come to them, but it's so that they can
So
give
they
it
can-
away, and then
yes.
so that can overflow into
Yes.
praise
Mhm.
to God
Right.
and thanksgiving to God, right? It's just it's like this beautiful circle of
Right.
God giving to you, you giving out, and God receiving glory and praise
Mhm.
for that and thanksgiving for it.
Yeah, true.
So-
It all fits. It's amazing.
Mm.
It all
What are
fits
the
together.
chances?
which is the other cool thing that we've seen it happen with a number of people, but we've all experienced reading your Bibles. Each book is representing Jesus in one way or another. But you're supposed to look for Jesus in every book of the Bible, and that is a big, big deal. Someone just asked this week about Ecclesiastes. They picked that up and they're like, okay, where's the gospel in Ecclesiastes? Which I haven't gotten to yet, but
People get annoyed by that. People are
Yeah.
offended when you tell them, look for Jesus in the Bible. Why would that be offensive? What else would you expect to find in
Jesus
there?
himself said it all pointed to
Like
him.
the gospel. People,
I want something to do.
Yeah.
I want it to be about me.
We all spent years doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, well, what is this? What is the Bible saying for me today?
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
and so it's only recent for me in the last couple of years that I've been able to look at it differently.
yeah,
Look for
and
Jesus,
so it's a new
right?
thought. But
Yeah.
but some people are
Yeah, they
physically
get
physically
about it.
offended, and I know people who've been warned. You need to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Be careful finding the gospel in the Bible. Jesus in
Wow.
the Bible.
Could
What
you-
a dangerous thought. You know?
And don't read it in context.
Yeah.
Large portions.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Someone said
Just
that?
read it too much.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
a couple different people have said that.
It
that
was a,
watch
I would
out for
always
those
say the
people. They
difference.
read
I would always say
portions
the
of the
opposite.
Bible at once.
in
makes no
context.
sense.
So dangerous.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
But it's changed our lives.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
completely revolutionized
Yeah,
so
I
many
always
people's lives.
would
So
tell people
we,
the opposite.
we
Read.
continue.
Don't read
Wow.
small amounts.
Yeah.
Well, we've moved on, but where are the verses shaken down, pressed together,
Running over.
running over?
Prosperity gospel verses. I should know.
Yeah,
Yeah, where are
Exactly.
those, Tanya?
I don't know. I wasn't in the Bible enough to figure it out.
Someone
Because
was
I
reading
can't
it
look
for
it
you.
Someone
Reading
told
it.
me.
I don't think it's Matthew
I don't know where it
18.
is.
I thought it was Matthew 18, but I don't
No.
think
Didn't we
it is.
just read that?
Yes,
Like
we-
Mark. We were reading Mark
We
recently.
read it
so.
recently.
My-
But that's how I always understood it, was that's what God gives us. God gives us so much. But when we read it recently, I realized the context was you give. You give more than you think you are able to give, and
Yes.
God will replace it,
Mhm.
pressed down, so you can keep on giving. Not
And
so
that's-
that you have, so
Right.
that you give.
But that's
Give,
not
give.
just money.
Not
It's
just
Luke.
money.
We're talking about
No.
energy,
Talking energy,
mental stability.
absolutely.
That was a
Time,
big deal to me.
conversation,
Yes.
patience.
Yeah. When I-
Just like think of all of your relationships, good, bad, broken. If people would be content
Mm.
Yeah.
and would keep on giving and
Yeah.
trust God to keep filling them up.
It's true.
Mm.
That
It's
Hard,
Luke 6.
but
Luke
true.
6.
It's Luke
Oh.
6.
Luke
Here we
Luke
go.
There must be one.
6:38.
See it in second Corinthians. He says, "He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing, and increase the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way to be generous in every way, which through us will produce thanksgiving to God. For the ministry of this service is not only supplying the needs of the saints, but it is also overflowing in many thanksgivings to God."
Right.
It's just that whole process.
Yeah.
The context of the good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over is forgiveness.
Interesting.
Mm.
Interesting.
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam.
Where- what was that again, Luke?
Luke 6,
Luke
38.
6. It's after the
6.
Beatitudes,
So,
and Jesus has said,
70
"Love
times
your."
7.
Yep, he said, "Love your enemies, do good to those who hate you."
Easy.
And then, judge not. And we looked up that judge. The meaning
Yes.
of that word judge is stop dividing, stop
Yeah.
sorting, stop
You are
categorizing.
not the one.
That
to do
judge
that.
not doesn't say don't decide,
Don't discern.
don't
It's not-
discern. It doesn't say don't confront sin or don't address things. It means stop dividing yourself based on your
Yeah.
arbitrary categories. So stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop condemning each other. Forgive each other and you will be forgiven.
That's-
Give and it will be given to you. So just keep giving, keep forgiving, and God will
Yeah.
keep giving you what you need to keep
Right.
doing it.
You're right. It is.
It
Right
is.
smack in the. Isn't
It
that funny
is.
how
but
that's
but how many
always been
people
made
know those
about
verses
money?
as forgiveness?
Yeah, true.
It's always. I've only heard it in the
Mhm.
context of financial, and that doesn't fit at all. You're right. It's
Yeah.
just the verse right
Yeah,
before:
I
"Judge
couldn't
not,
believe
and
it
you
when
will not be judged."
Yeah.
Pretty.
You are supposed
Condemn
to
not,
burn
he will
the
not be
candle
condemned.
at both ends. Sometimes God requires you
Yeah,
to.
so there's
and
like-
you just trust Him to keep putting wax in there.
So it's so exciting. You read it, and the Holy Spirit opens your eyes. You understand it. Wow, that's so exciting. But then you have to go home and do it.
do it.
Yeah.
have
There
to,
are harder
you know,
things than reading
Yeah,
it.
you're
Yeah.
tired, and
Yeah.
you have to pour yourself out a little more for someone. Someone stepped on your toes.
Yeah.
Someone slapped your face, and you gotta
keep going.
forgive
I
them
know.
and keep going.
You have
Let
to.
this mind
yeah.
be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus.
Yes.
He
You think it's hard.
He despised the shame
Right.
and the
Yeah.
way he was treated,
Yeah.
but he did the right thing. You know?
So you put that in the context you first get married. So there's those new things that you have to take that and put it into action. Then you get little kids, you've got, littles all running around you, and you're strained in different ways. And then your kids grow up, you have teenagers and adult children, totally new context.
You thought when they were all sleeping through the night, life
Yeah.
would be so easy.
Yeah.
You'd be
And-
rested.
No, it just
Yeah.
shifts. It
It
just
just
morphs
shifts.
into
Yeah.
different things, and you just constantly have to say, okay, yes,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely exhausted. I think I'm going to throw up. But I have to stay up for 2 more hours.
And,
to
and
make
not
sure
just your
all of
family,
these
but
things-
meanwhile, you know more people.
Yes.
You have more outside connections and
Yeah.
commitments. You have more responsibilities.
Your circle is
You're
much
just
broader.
stretched
Mm.
way more than you ever thought you would be.
Yeah. But
And
those
you're not
principles-
nearly as strong as you always thought you
Yeah.
were.
And you're a lot stupider than you thought you were.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've all experienced
Mhm.
it. Just keep
Mhm.
throwing it out there, and
Yeah.
He brings it back after many days. And
Yeah.
there's just always more to work with.
Yeah.
There's
Mm.
more, and there's more. But if you don't,
I think it's something we have to keep preaching to ourselves, though, because it's certainly not linear in my life. I can't look back and see, a steady increase of that. It's, you
yeah.
you learn and you do, and then
Then
for
it's
whatever
different.
It's
reason,
different
for
every
whatever
time.
reason,
Yeah.
it could be a crisis. It just could be a bad relationship. It just could be
Yeah.
a health situation. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, okay,
Because there's certain things like
start
just
giving again.
to put it on a really shallow level. There's certain things like when the kids were very little, and you'd be just serving them lunch or something, or letting them help you in the kitchen to bake. That was hard.
Yeah.
The patience that it
Yes.
took.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yes.
fingernails itch
Mhm.
thinking
Yeah.
about it.
It's easy.
But then, I'll babysit these cute little kids, and we'll get it out, and this is so fun, and we're laughing and having such a good time. I can rock that now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No
Yes.
problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I learned, like,
You
I can
learned that.
see
But
that
then
I learned
another
that,
situation
but now
comes along.
it's so different.
Yeah.
And this
It's
doesn't
new
matter.
all the
Like,
time,
that's in the
yes.
past. That
Yes.
doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yes.
Burned up.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
And you can't rest saying, well, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm. No.
It's not anymore.
No.
You are who you are right
You look at
now.
what's on
Yeah.
your plate today, and can I do
Yeah.
that with what I have today?
Yes.
Only by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
And
praise
you
God
wish,
for
can
how
I
far
just go
He
back to
brought
the
me.
kitchen
Yes.
and
It'd
have
be
my
so
kids help me
easy.
with the
Yeah.
muffins today?
Yeah.
Because I
that
can
was
do
easy.
that.
I can nail that today. Yeah.
But it is true. Like,
Mm.
it's all just going to burn. Isn't that in 2 Corinthians 2? I mean, I've only read it twice.
I remember.
But it's going to
That's
all
1
be burned
Corinthians.
away. Is that?
Isn't that
I
first?
just read it
Oh,
recently.
We just talked
yeah.
about it recently.
Yeah. You're right.
3:13.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
First
I thought
Corinthians 3:13.
it alluded to that. No.
I have only read it once so far. I have to read it again tonight.
But yeah, it's all, you can't, you live as if, oh no, I know what it was. I was reading my journal from years
Okay.
ago. And I had made the statement that I should be living every moment as if everything I'm doing is literally burning up behind me, because that's what it is. It's just like
It's not that.
the Romans 12:1, like giving your life as a living sacrifice, means that it's burning. Like a sacrifice is meant to be burnt. So every single thing that I'm doing, I have to act as if I have to choose what I'm going to be burning behind me. What's, what I'm giving to Christ, what's going to be burnt. And anyway, so that's where that came from.
But that's really hard on a practical level. I really struggle with that, because I feel like everything each task in itself, I feel like everything is hinging on me doing this.
Oh, I just,
well.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So-
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying this is something
Yeah.
that I struggle with.
No,
with,
I think we
with
do the
pouring
same.
myself into the moment,
Yeah.
and then the point is to pour yourself into it,
Yeah.
not to get a certain
Right.
result,
Mhm.
right?
So it's like,
so it's
do
okay for it to burn up because the
Yeah.
point was devotion to God.
Right. It's going to burn
And
either way, but do I
obedience.
want to smile
Mm-hmm.
at my child
Mhm.
so that gets burned up, or do I
Mhm.
want to sigh and look
Mhm.
annoyed with them and put that on the altar to burn up?
When you
Like,
get caught up in the
sacrifice of
result,
righteousness.
you sacrifice the important. You give up the important thing.
Yeah.
If you're so concerned about getting a certain
Yes.
result out of it, then you find yourself being harsh or
Yeah.
short
Mm.
or demanding
Yeah.
because it's too important that you get it right,
Expectation. Yeah.
rather than that you just do it.
Yeah.
obey.
Phariseeism steps
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
list takes over, and
This is my second chance. This is no song and dance. You came in and renewed a right spirit. This is grace at its best. This is taking a restless, messed up heart and having you clear it.